It has been said that after every wedding comes a marriage, and the two are most definitely not the same. Hi, this is Barry Phelps, a 10-minute tour, day 3 of Vayetzi, and he went, and we are today in Bereshit, or Genesis, chapter 29, and it says in verse number 16, and Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. And Leah's eyes were weak, but Rachel was beautiful of form and beautiful of appearance. Yaakov loved Rachel, so he said, "Let me serve you 7 years for Rachel, your younger daughter." Laban said, "It's better that I give her to you than I should give her to another man. Stay with me." So he served him 7 years for Rachel. And it says in verse 23, and it came to be in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to Yaakov, and he went in to her. Laban gave his female servant Zilpah to his daughter Leah as a female servant, and in the morning it came to be, see, it was Leah. So he said to Laban, "What is this you've done to me? Was it not for Rachel that I served you? Why then have you deceived me?" We typically get all hung up from the understanding that Yaakov had multiple wives. And it's easy to say, well, it wasn't his fault. Well, I'm not really looking for someone to blame here. The man ended up with 4 wives and a large amount of kids, squabbling siblings, and it was problematic. It was a dysfunctional house. But primarily, the dysfunction came from the fact that he married 2 sisters. Now, while our Western values and our Christian background gives us this uneasiness with multiple wives here, and I in no way, absolutely, before I get anywhere close to being misunderstood, I am not advocating in any way multiple wives or polygamy. Not going there, don't agree with that, don't promote that, don't support that. That being said, when we look at this story, rather than get all confused and offended about the number of wives, let's find out what it is that the Torah is trying to teach us. Because it's not just the story of a man and his house and his wives. It's a lesson for us. It's a teaching here that we need to catch. Now, Rachel, it says, was beautiful of form and beautiful of appearance. She is the naturally desired, attractive bride that a man would look at and say, that's a 10. She's awesome. I just love her. And I'm not saying that she was shallow or beauty only. Certainly she was a woman of quality and a woman of great desires and great abilities, and she had her own talents and so forth. She was not just, eye candy. There was more to her than that. But the sister that he didn't want, Leah, whose name literally means one who is weary, she had weak eyes, and the rabbis give an interesting analysis here that it was understood that Esau would marry Leah and Yaakov would marry Rachel, and that she wept at the prospect of having to be given to Esau, and that's why her eyes were weak. Well, it's an interesting idea, but we're not exactly told that here. It would seem that she had at least a great fondness for Yaakov and probably did love him because she desperately wanted him to love her in return. But it's not just that the 2 women, the 2 sisters, are contrasted here for us. It's that they are 2 sides of the same identity, the bride. What I'm about to share with you, it applies to the husband and the wife equally. This is not just about the wife. The husbands had the same dynamics going on. In the deeper writings of the rabbinical minds and the Hasidic writings, Rachel, she is associated with the one is known as a Sadiq, the Sadiq personality. This is the one who is refined. This is the one who is elevated in their righteousness. This is the one who has a great walk of understanding and belief. While Leah is more the Baal Teshuvah person, the one who has been broken, the one who has had tragedy, the one who has been a sinful life, and they have repented. And they have come to a place where they are walking in the grace of Elohim, the restorative power of Elohim. They have tasted redemption at a great level. And both will be to be admired. Both are quality people here. It's just that they're different. While the Sadiq is more considered pure and sacred, walking in harmony, it's the Baal Teshuvah, the one that has been broken. They embody the tumultuous part of life and the continuing ongoing battle against negative urges and destructive habits that can destroy them. So when you get married, you very well may believe that the one at the end of the aisle that you meet is Rachel, beautiful, attractive, all that you've ever wanted in a husband or a wife. After the honeymoon, however, you will find that you have more than likely married the Leah version of them. Because after the novelty of marriage and the honeymoon period is over, the greater personality traits and depths that you should have figured out while the courtship was going on begin to rise to the surface, and you realize, oh my, who did I marry? If you're only in it for the physical appearance and the physical qualities, then the marriage is simply, it's just not going to work, or else it will last, but in a very disastrous, non-harmonious, struggling manner. It is in this realization that I've married somebody that's got problems. They got hurts, they've got wounds, they are easily triggered by certain things, and there is a need on my part to try to figure out what this is. And here's the key. The reason that we find the Leah quality of the Rachel that we married is because there is a part of us that meets that need. When a man and woman get married, they are rabbinically said to be two halves of the same soul. And so that when they come together, they make a complete person. And so we have the phrase, you complete me. You're the missing part of me. You're the better part of me. Well, those things are actually rather true. And the reality is this, that Yah puts people before us as a spouse. Not that we fix them, but rather that it would be revealed that their need, their life development, sometimes it's not initially, sometimes it's just over the course of years. Maybe there's a physical quality that they're diminished in. Maybe they're having some physical issues. Maybe there's a wound that develops and they struggle through it. Family situations on their side of the family that develop, that hurt them and wound them deeply. We're supposed to be there as the whole part of them, the other part of them, to keep them whole. It is our responsibility, our ministry to our spouse, to be there for them and to provide the healing, encouragement, the sense of wholeness and completeness, being wise, being caregiving, being nurturing, sometimes instructive. Sometimes they need to hear the firm word from us. But it's that we complement each other because we help each other. And indeed, we are helpmates. That's the whole idea. So if Rachel ceases to be as attractive to you as it was on the wedding day, and Leah seems to be at the surface, Remember, Yaakov was buried with Leah. That's who you end up with because it's Yah's design. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. To then, shalom.